we have a rather thick fog that has joined us. Oh my goodness, a car in the ditch. He has asked if we can do the road cleaning in Riverbend Springs. We can put all of those stones towards making cement. You have been busy, Noah. Wood has been delivered to the paper mill. Hi there, are you old Ben?
Yes!
We got your name from Walter, and he told us that you're the man to come and ask about potentially getting hold of a tractor, the John Deere or the Alice Chalmers. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the American Dream at Riverbend Springs. We are still at Ben's yard, or Ben's farm, and we've been checking over the tractors that he had for sale in his barn here. The John Deere 710, which he is selling for $2,500, and the Alice Chalmers 45, which he is going to sell for $1,000. Now, I've been getting your views on which tractor we should buy, and I think the John Deere has the majority of the interest. However, the Alice Chalmers has had some votes as well, so we really are in a bit of a predicament as to what tractor we should choose to buy. I was thinking I would probably sleep on the decision and maybe go check in on Walter as well to get his advice. So I think I'm going to head over to Walter's before the day is out and see what he has to say, see if he's got any bright ideas. And also, I wanted to ask him if there's anywhere that he knows we could get some grass equipment, which we are going to need next month. But we will say, see you later, Ben. Thanks very much. We'll be back tomorrow and let you know our decision. All right then. Cheers. Well, Walter is a very close neighbour of Ben's. He is literally just down the road, so we can pop in to see him. Here he is. We'll give him a little toot. Hey, Walter. Yes, it's us again. So we've been over to see old Ben. He has two tractors for sale, a John Deere 710, $2,500, and a Alice Chalmers 45 for $1,000. Both need a good amount of repair work, so I wanted to get your advice. I see. The John Deere is more capable, but potentially has higher servicing costs, and the Alice Chalmers is older, but more reliable and robust. Well, we really don't know what tractor we should go with. Two tractors? Well, I guess having two might be useful for the long run, but can we really afford that? I see. Well, we can ask old Ben if he's willing to do us a deal on both tractors. I'll have to check back in with him in the morning. Whilst I'm here, I don't suppose you know where I can get some grass equipment, do you? A mower, a windrower, and something to collect it up. I would try the dealership in town, but I just don't think we're going to be able to afford any brand new equipment. Right, I see. Your daughter Katie might have some equipment. Well, we can go see if she's at her office at the animal dealer tomorrow as well. Thanks, Walter. Yeah, we'll be on our way, but I've not forgotten that we've got the stones to clear up from your yard, and I'll have to see to that later on in spring. Yeah, bye-bye, Walter. We'll catch you later. Cheers, then. Alright, we better head on back home now. The fog still has not cleared from the foggy February that we have had. I'm hoping that it will clear up overnight. And I think I'm going to head back home, really, to settle down for the day, and we can relax and mull over the tractor decision. Walter has suggested that we could potentially look to offer Ben some sort of deal for both tractors, or ask him if he's willing to sell us both tractors at a reduced price. We don't really know Ben, so we'll see how open he is to that kind of suggestion. But I'm mindful that we have to look at purchasing some grass equipment as well. And Walter has suggested his daughter Katie, and her office is at the animal dealer, so we will have to go and check that out at some point as well. There we go, it is good to be back so we can settle in for the night. And looks like our constant driving over this area, especially in the snow and ice we had earlier on in the winter, has carved a bit of ground out. It is quite muddy and dirty in this stretch round here. But let's head on into our shack. We can cook up some dinner and get some rest and think about the tough decision we have on a tractor.
History began on July 4th, 1776.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
Chubbies going back to the 1970s.
I don't believe it.
You can change your life.
Foot race against supermodels.
Well, good morning. We better tuck our bed away. We're up bright and early. It's just turned 6:30. And I'm going to get some breakfast on the stove. And I'm thinking we will get started quite early. The forecast looks to have some rain on the horizon, which is going to be interesting for some grass work. So we really have got time against us potentially today. So if I take a look at the forecast, we have got sunshine in the morning till 10 when it's due to rain. Then it's cloudy for the majority of the day and raining in the evening again. So we have a bit of a window in the middle of the day. I'm not sure how much it's going to rain, but hopefully we should be alright. That was some good breakfast. Right, let's head on out. And if we go check in on our field, we should see that it is looking pretty nice and sweet. It is tall and we should be able to mow it. So yeah, it's got a good yield. It is ready to harvest. And it looks like it has a good yield bonus despite us not really doing anything to it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to mowing this patch. And of course it is just this small patch here that we own. I am looking to potentially expand into this area and this area down here when we can afford it. Luckily Walter owns these fields as well, so we can look to buy them off him. But the big important question, what are we going to do about the tractors? Well, I'm feeling optimistic, so I think I'm going to follow Walter's advice and we are going to buy both tractors. Might be a little bit tight in our very small living situation and area that we have, but nonetheless, I think Walter's point around having 2 tractors could be worthwhile for the long run. It will mean that we can interchange and have equipment already set up on one tractor and then switch to the other. And the John Deere, which is probably going to be the more capable one, will be better for pulling and hauling things around, but the Alice Chalmers might be good for running some of the small equipment like the mower or the windrower. So I've got the trailer hitched up. We're going to head over to old Ben's yard and propose to him an offer for both tractors. The John Deere was 2.5 and the Alice Chalmers was 1,000, so that would be a total of 3,500 at full price of what he's asking for. So I think maybe we can make him an offer of 3,000 for both and see if he takes it. Still pretty chilly in Riverbend, but I'm pleased to have the sun out for now. We'll have to see how much the rain affects us. But yeah, we will have to look at creating some sort of shed where we can store our tractors. As yeah, we don't want to be leaving them out in the wet too much. And we're going to be putting a lot of effort today into getting those tractors up to a good level of service. Obviously they've been sitting in Ben's yard and barn for a long time, so they've acquired quite a lot of dust, and they probably need a good oil change, some greasing, maybe a part swap or two, and they definitely need a refuel. So I'm going to head into town and to the garage, and we'll buy some fuel. Right, we'll head behind the garage because I think it's the dealership that sells the barrels of fuel. Right, we'll check in and see what they've got. There we go, a barrel of diesel, 200 litres for $280. That's pretty good. There we go, $280. There sits the barrel. I think I'm going to have to probably roll it onto the back somehow. So let's just see if we can tip it over like so. There we go, gently does it. And we can roll it over. And I might just have to get a plank so I can roll it up onto the bed of the pickup. There we go, that should do. It's actually a perfect fit for the back of the pickup. So let's shunt it all the way up and we will strap it down. And one thing I've got ready for later is got the toolbox out of our tool chest so we can service these vehicles. Right, I need to back up to the trailer as I needed a bit of room to get to it. Now, one thing the dealership did tell me, because I asked where we could potentially wash the dirty tractors, and they said that the garage across the way does actually have a rental service for washing the tractors. And yes, it looks like there is a jet spray here, so I'll have to inquire or drop some money to someone here, and we can potentially use this jet sprayer to wash the old tractors down, which we're going to buy from Ben. So yeah, that's pretty grand. Right, I think we can head over to go see Ben. I hope he is going to be there. It's quite early, but if he's not there, we'll just have to wait for him. Now, I think I'm going to take the opportunity to refuel the pickup whilst I am here as well. So let's do that. I'm not going to be taking fuel from the barrel because we'll need that over at our living quarters to keep the tractors well fueled for the future. And I think the animal dealer, from what Walter tells me, is just over the road there. I can't see anyone there yet, so I might just have to return later on in the day to see if we can find Katie. Right, just a little right turn here and then a quick left. And we are at Ben's yard. Ben is here, which is fantastic. I thought it was a little bit too early, so I'm grateful that he is here. I am going to have to just reverse our pickup trailer into his yard so we can load up the tractors. It's probably a little bit too unsafe to drive them back to where we live. All right, be patient. Goodness sake. Jesus, we Riverbend drivers have absolutely no patience, especially for agricultural vehicles. Right, I'm going to need to just straighten up a bit now I've got a gap in the traffic. Right, that's perfect. Hello Ben, good morning. How are you? Yeah, we're not too bad, thank you. So, we were actually interested in buying both tractors and wondered if you take 3,000 for the both. Oh, I see. Well, yes, I know both tractors mean a lot to you. Well, what would you want for both? Well, you drive a hard bargain, but I think 3,250 is a fair price for both. Consider them sold. There we go. We've handed over the cash and both tractors are ours now. So we will have to load up the tractors one by one and take them back, get them washed on the way. Let's get the barn doors open. And we can get the ramp unloaded. Excellent, that looks set and ready to go. I think we will probably take the Alice Chalmers first. That is deeper in the barn and could be the more problematic one as it is older. Now, we haven't fired this up yet, so I'm very excited to get it going. Let's hop on. Oh, yep, the fuel gauge is showing very low, so we will have to get it topped up. But let's just see if it's going to start. It's turning over. I was expecting a little bit of difficulty. Right, I've just given the fuel pump a tap and a few things, a little bit of a blow and brush to make sure it is going to fire up. The spark plugs look good, so yeah, I think it should be good to fire into action. Maybe we'll spray a little bit of starting fluid in there just to help it out. Right, there we go. We've got the Alice Chalmers fired up. And oh, it was just beeping at me. I think that is the indication that we have low fuel. There must be a third party or modern part installed to tell me that the fuel is running low. Of course, she certainly is gargling, but yeah, seems to be running quite well. Alright, it might be a little bit sticky on getting the brakes unlocked because it's been sat here for quite a while, but there we go. I think we are away. Fantastic. And yeah, oh, the steering is quite stiff. I'm definitely going to have to get some grease on this thing. And aha, I've just realised a bit of a potential issue. We have a ramp that has two parts either side, but we of course have a three-wheel tractor, so I think I'm probably going to have to manoeuvre this and reverse it up somehow. Hopefully that is going to work. Oh yeah, this steering is very stiff, but I gotta say the tractor's quite manoeuvrable thanks to that one wheel at the front. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Right, I've just had to widen the ramps ever so slightly to accommodate, but let's back up. The pedals are really quite stiff, so it's hard to get it going and get momentum. I'm hoping this is going to fit on here. It is. That front wheel is trailing. Oh my goodness. This is, as predicted, not ideal. I'm going to have to see if Ben has got some sort of jack so we can lift the front wheel onto the trailer. Well, we managed to jack it on, and there we go. Fantastic. Let's shut her down. There we can fold the ramps back in. Excellent. Well, we can get the tractor strapped down to make sure it doesn't roll or go anywhere. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic. Right, before we leave off and get this tractor washed up and dropped off at our living quarters, we will see if the John Deere is going to start and fire into life. I'm expecting hopefully better things of this because it's a bit newer. You can just feel that this is a much newer and yeah, more modern tractor, although it's still old compared to some of the stuff that Walter and other farmers in the area have got. Definitely needs fuel and a good service, so let's see if it'll fire up. Oh, seems to be struggling a little bit, but sounds like it might be getting there. There we go. I'm not sure when Ben had this last running, but yeah, seems to be running okay. There's no smoke pouring out or anything like that, so I think the oil is good, which is fantastic. There we go. Right, yeah. Let's see if we can get this pulled out of here and lined up for loading next. Oh, rolled off much quicker than the Alice Chalmers did. But let's get it lined up at the door for loading next. There we go. Much smoother. Fantastic. Well, we can shut it down for now as, yeah, we're not going to need to keep it running. So the plan is I will take the Alice Chalmers back first. We'll give it a wash on the way and then drop it off. Come back for the John Deere and then we will basically service both at the living quarters. So, yeah, we're going to be on our way. Thanks very much, Ben. You have a good day and we will see you later. And there we go. We have recovered both tractors and got them back to our living quarters and our land. We don't have anywhere to store them yet. I'm going to have to build some sort of shelter. But I've got to say, just a simple wash, a service, oil change, tightening, some new spark plugs, and giving everything a bit of a general bit of TLC, these have cleaned up quite nicely. I've had to spend about $900 in parts and repair costs, but we've done everything ourselves. The only thing we've not been able to do is give it a lick of paint, so the chips and wear on the tractors is still showing, but if we desire to, we can maybe source some paint for the Alice Chalmers to give it a good touch up. And likewise the John Deere, although the John Deere does not show near as much age as the Alice Chalmers. You can see there's a little bit of wear on some of the bolts and clips and the pedals and such, but yeah, generally it's looking pretty good. So yeah, fantastic. We have two rather nice tractors for $3,250 plus $900 in service costs. We spent $250 and $50 on this barrel of fuel. It was 200 litres, and we've got 99 litres left, so 101 litres put into the tractor. So these are good for business now, which is fantastic. Well, it's about 9:30. We are due some rain at 10 o'clock, but I think what we might do is, whilst it's not raining yet, is take the opportunity to go and introduce ourselves to Katie, Walter's daughter. Supposedly she will have some grass equipment for us. We are going to need a mower, and we are going to need a windrower so we can collect up the grass into a swath, and then we're going to need some means to pick up the grass, either some sort of rake or some sort of shovel or some piece of equipment that will allow us to pick up the grass. So we will go and see if Katie has anything she can offer us, and yeah, it'll be nice to meet someone new yet again, and this is a member of Walter's family, so I'm sure we can put good trust and faith in them. Now I've gone the route via the river, and it's still looking quite misty and murky down by the water. Spring is on its way, but it's not fully here yet. Right, over the bridge, and I think this is the animal dealers here. So we will turn in and see if we can park up somewhere, and hopefully we can find Katie. Just turned around, think I've found her. Oh, hello. You must be, yeah, you must be, Katie. We're here for some grass equipment. Your father, Walter, sent us. Oh, it sounds like it's started raining. I'm just gonna step under here as well. Oh, sorry. Let me start again. We've just bought some grass equipment, and we've come to look for some tractors. Oh, no. Other way around. We've, just bought some tractors, and we've come to look for some grass equipment. I'm sorry. You caught me off guard. Let me explain better. Your father, Walter, we've been doing some jobs for him, and he's been helping us out quite kindly. And we've just bought a patch of land, well, not too long ago, and it's got some grass on it. We've managed to acquire some old tractors from old Ben, and your father, Walter, said that we could come and ask you if you've got any grass equipment, mower, windrower, that sort of thing, because you might be in the know. We haven't really got the funds to buy new equipment, so I'm hoping you might be able to help us find something. Right, are you looking to sell this old mower and windrower? Fantastic. Well, is it alright if we take a look at it? Over the yard by the crates and boxes. Okay, we'll go take a look. Thanks, Katie. We'll be right back. Well, I don't know what's just come over me, but Katie sure seems like a nice girl. She said that she has a old mower and a windrower in under this, what looks like an old garage, really. And, okay, I think I know what she means. This red piece of equipment on the left looks to be the mower, and this green piece of equipment here looks to be the windrower. Definitely has had its fair use, but I think this is going to be the kind of stuff we want to run on the Alice Chalmers or the John Deere. It looks to be perfect size. It's going to be low horsepower equipment. So yeah, I think we might look to ask Katie what she will want for this equipment. And yeah, I will have to ask it if there's anything we can use to transport the grass or hay. We'll see what we can make. Oh, I hadn't noticed this, but it looks like there is a forage wagon here as well. A Tarrap 1030, a Caverland. Ah, this looks quite beefy. Might ask Katie if this is for sale, or there's some possibility that we could use this. I'd hope that the John Deere might be able to pull it. Oh, it does look like it's owned by Katie. She's got a number plate on it. Well, let's go ask. Oh, she's gone. Maybe she's gone inside to get out of the rain. Let's see. Ah, yes, it's much drier in here, thankfully. The mower and the windrower look perfect for what we need. Small equipment for our small tractors. How much would you want for them, assuming they're for sale? 500 apiece. Well, yeah, I think we can afford that. So, yeah, here's $1,000. Thanks very much. I see that you have a forage wagon in the covered section as well. Is that for sale? Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it's not for sale. But we could borrow it for a fee. Okay. Well, we'll probably take you up on that. How much would you want for borrowing the forage wagon? 150 a day. Okay, yeah, that sounds reasonable. We're going to take the equipment and mow our land and potentially look to bring the grass somewhere to sell. I was going to check in with Walter, but I think I see that they take grass here at the animal dealer. Oh right, hay sells for more, does it? And the windrower that we've purchased can be configured to be a tedder as well. Well, that's fantastic. Yes, we will see if we can mow the grass and ted it to hay, windrow it, and then forage wagon collect it to bring back to you for sale. Fantastic. Thanks, Katie. Yes, we'll see you later. You have a nice day. Well, there we go. We've just paid Katie $1,000 for the mower and the windrower, which apparently doubles up as a tedder as well. There's a configuration on it. So I think we had better get this equipment loaded up onto the trailer and take it back to our farm, I guess we can call it now, because we have some tractors, we have a field, and we've now got our first equipment. Now, what will make our life easier is we can collect up the hay that we're potentially going to make with this forage wagon that Katie has here. We can't purchase it, and to be fair, it looks like quite an expensive piece of kit, but Katie did say that we can borrow it for 150, which we'll pay her once we're finished using it. Just unfold the pickup and we can get this equipment loaded on. There we go. The windrower is slightly hanging off, but I will strap it down and keep the back of the trailer open. Right, let's get this back, and yeah, I don't think we're going to give it a wash because it's going to get dirty when we use it. So let's head back, and we're probably going to have to wait for the rain to subside before we get started. Well, I hope the sheriff doesn't notice our windrower hanging off the end of our trailer. Well, that Katie definitely seems like a rather lovely girl. I choked up a little bit when we first saw her. Don't know what came over me, but yeah, I hope we see a bit more of her. She seems like a nice girl. Right, we've made it back, and I hope the rain is not going to last too long. Obviously our nice cleaned tractors are now standing in the wet, so we'll definitely have to look at getting a shed built at some point. I'll have to get the some of the building materials that we've got at Noah's to see about building a shed. Right, let's get inside and wait for the rain to clear. Rain, rain, go away. Right, there we go. The rain has stopped, and it's had a good half an hour to an hour for the sun to come back out and the wind to dry it out a little bit. So I'm hoping it's going to be good to mow still. And we better crack on and get this equipment off the trailer. And it needs a little bit of a repair, so we'll need the toolbox again. Oh, there we go. This was quite heavy to get lifted on, but the mower was even heavier. There we go. As always, a bit of leverage helps. Let's grab the toolbox and fix these up. Right, there we go. They are serviced up now. We have spent about $60 in parts just to get them back to optimal service, which is grand. And I've checked that the configuration of the windrower is in tedder mode, so that's how we need it for the first job. Let's get the toolbox back up there, and we can get on with mowing our field. Fantastic. So which tractor do we pick? We need the mower first, and I think because it is red, the Alice Chalmers is going to suit that perfectly. So let's hop in old Alice, I think we'll call her. Every tractor needs a nickname. And there we go. She's fired up straight away. Now that we've given it a good service, everything is looking pretty good. So let's pull up to the mower and get it hitched up to the 3-point linkage. There we go. Attached, and we can raise it up. Fantastic. Yeah, I think it's a perfect tractor for this kind of piece of equipment, and vice versa. Right, here we go. Let's see how this works. I think we need to fold it out into operating position. There we go. And we'll have to start with going around the edges of the field and make sure we're not driving over the grass. We don't want to flatten it, especially because it might be slightly damp, but still okay to cut. So I think we can turn on the mower. There we go. Well, I wouldn't want to get close to those discs. Could lose a limb. And we can lower away. There we go. Right. We are mowing, ladies and gentlemen. Off we go. powered down the mower, and we have finished mowing up all that field. It is a bit rickety and bumpy driving over all these grass swaths, and we have missed a couple of patches, but that seems to be the nature with smaller and more rustic equipment. There's no GPS or anything like that for this. It's all a manual job, and the bits we have missed are pretty negligible, but my oh my, that was a really fun job. I thoroughly enjoyed that, and looks like we have a really good quantity of grass, so I'm immensely happy. We can fold the mower back up. I think I will keep it attached to the tractor, but yeah, we'll swing round, and I think we'll park this side of the John Deere this time, just so we're a little bit closer to home. And yeah, we can lower our mower, fantastic, and shut off the Alice Chalmers. Brilliant. Well, that was absolutely superb. That Alice Chalmers did a grand job. It was lovely hearing it gargle as it was working hard up the hill. Now, I did mow in a sort of square spiraled shape. I did try to do alternating rows a little bit earlier on, but the distance was a bit too great, so I returned to spirals and left the alternating rows for the very end with the small square. But here we go, we have got lots of grass, and it's only right that we switch to the other tractor, the John Deere 710, for the next job, and it is a green windrower tedder after all, so that makes sense. Let's hop in and fire it up. Beautiful. Fires up like a charm. And I'm going to have to see about getting a different number plate on this at some point. I'll have to contact the sheriff or the local driver vehicle licensing organisation. But let's quickly grab the tedder slash windrower. I think this is the right direction to pull up to it. There we go. Don't want to slam into it. We can hitch it up and raise up. Now, supposedly this is in tedder mode, so I'll be interested to see how it operates. Is it going to fling grass around everywhere, or is it going to line it up into a swath for us? We will have to wait and see. Maybe it will do both jobs in one. Yet to be seen, really. So we have switched it on, but obviously it's driven by rotating on the ground, so we need to lower it. There we go. And oh, it is going to start tedding, and it's going to throw it absolutely everywhere, so this is where we will need to switch it to the windrower to help make it a nice channeled swath again. There we go. I was missing bits, and I've missed bits again, so yeah, I've got to get used to the width of this windrower slash tedder. There we go. I really need to make sure that really the second wheel in is the one that's covering the edge. There we go. Right, I think I'm getting the hang of this now. So I'm going to get all of this tedded up. Should be quite a quick job because it's got a wider working width. See you when we're finished. Right, the tedding is done. Bit of a messy and frantic job, and I really could not get used to the working width of the tedder. It was looking like I was sort of covering areas of the swath, but the end wheels don't seem to want to do a lot of tedding, so yeah, the working width is actually a bit smaller than it looks. But never mind. What we will do is drop this down and unattach it. And I think we'll switch over to the Alice Chalmers, because likelihood is that we are going to have to use the John Deere for the forage wagon, because the forage wagon is quite large, and the John Deere is the tractor with the more horsepower and the better traction. So I think it's only right that we switch to the Alice Chalmers for the windrowing, but we will have to just quickly do the tweak on the windrower to set it up for windrowing away from tedding. Right, that has been changed to windrowing mode, so let's put the toolbox back for now and hop in the Alice Chalmers to get it attached. So there we go, that is attached. Let's raise it up. We will switch it on, although I don't think there's anything to switch on, because again, it is powered just by the rotation. Now we need to see how this is going to lay the grass. My suspicion is that it's going to position the grass towards the left hand side, because that is the part of the windrow that is furthest away. So effectively it's going to be shifting the grass to the left. Let's test out that theory, shall we, by just driving in here and lowering away. Yep, I think I was right that it is shifting the grass from the right to the left. So we are going to have to go round this field in this direction. And, oh, it's quite dusty work. But yeah, we'll need to make sure that we gather the hay. It is, of course, now a hay, because we have tedded it and that's dried it from grass into hay. But we'll have to make sure we collect up all of it from the edges. And we'll do maybe 1 or 2 laps of the field, or headlands as they're called, and then we'll break into some rows. This is going pretty swimmingly. Raising up after just tidying a small patch there on the headland, and I gotta say, this piece of equipment works a lot better as a windrower than it does as a tedder. It's very simple to use, and just by its nature being sort of one directional, you can go around the headland in one direction and then go around the next headland in the other direction, and it effectively puts 2 rows into one. Wow, there is a deer going absolutely mad in the field. He's running around crazy. I think he's excited with all the piles of grass that we have there. Right, I think we can probably park up the Alice next to the mower there. I don't want to jam it into the bush, but yeah, I think we can go reasonably far back. Let's just lower it down a little bit. There we go. That should do fine. There we go. Not the neatest of jobs, but not the messiest either. And again, it's quite small and rustic equipment we are using. And it's a small field, so it's quite close quarters. But yeah, one thing I will say is the Alice Chalmers is absolutely fantastic at maneuverability. That pivoting front wheel, single front wheel, really does help with some sharp turning. So I think it's going to be pretty good as a fieldwork tractor for such tasks. Ploughing would be pretty good for turning quite tightly on the spot. And if we had a bi-directional plough that we could rotate, then yeah, it would work really well. But yeah, the John Deere did pretty good with the tedding as well. So I think what we're going to do is, I'm not sure if the pickup can actually pull the forage wagon that we are loaning from Katie. So we better just hop in the John Deere, and makes sense that we give this a little bit of a runabout into town. And yeah, I guess we can show it off a little bit to some of the locals. They've only seen us driving around in a pickup, so makes a change seeing us in a tractor. They'll think that we are busy and working our way up. Now, one drawback of driving the tractor around is it is quite slow, so it takes us a while to get from A to B. Alright, we can turn into the animal dealer area and look to pick up the forage wagon. I think I can see Katie by the door there. I think we'll just go say hello and tell her that we're going to take the forage wagon for now. Yeah, I'm hoping that the tractor is going to pull it. Should do, as you know, it's a fair sized wagon, but should at least be able to pull it. It might be a bit slow with collecting up the grass. Hello, Katie again. Are you having a nice day? Ah, well, yeah, fantastic. The grass equipment you sold us worked out really well. We were able to mow, ted, and windrow pretty successfully. So, thanks for that. It's proved to be a good purchase. We're going to take the forage wagon now, if that's okay, and I'll give you the rental money once we get back. Well, thanks. Yeah, we're going to need all the luck we can get. See you later, Katie, I guess. Bye. Oh. Someone's car's there. Whoopsie. Ah, I'm such a fool. How embarrassing. Right, let's hop onto the tractor and pick up the forage wagon. There we go. Right. Let's see if this can haul this beast. It looks like it can. PTO has attached successfully. So we'll see what we can do. It might be a bit of a stretch using this forage wagon, but we are darn going to give it a good try, that's for sure. A little bit of a tight bend there, but yes, we'll have to see how this forage wagon does with some of the tight cornering on the small field we have. Hopefully it'll be okay. Up to full speed at least, so it's not going to be any slower on the way home, unless we hit a hill. Oh dear, well yes, we certainly hit a hill. I wonder how this is going to perform on our little hilly field. Right, so what we'll do is we'll nip a left here, so we are at the bottom of the hill, and I'm probably going to have to ensure that we go using the sort of road directions, so we go side to side on the hill rather than up and down, as we could struggle. And for the headland pieces, we'll have to maybe maneuver ourselves to go in a downwards direction. Right, we are here, so let's switch this on and we can lower the pickup and head on in. We'll see how we get on. It seems to be going, so that is good. And oh, we are collecting hay, which is fantastic. So let's just see how far we can get. If we start to struggle, I might have to pull some odd maneuvers to get it working. But for the best part, we will see how we get on. Oh dear, it's quite heavy, so turning is forcing me to be pushed. Right, yeah, let's Let's just see how we can get on. Well, I am just not getting anywhere with this. The John Deere has tried its very best, but John Deere is just too under horsepower to pull this large forage wagon. So I feel rather stupid really for attempting it in the first place. Another embarrassing thing for me to have done in front of Katie and probably the whole town, to be fair. I think what I might do is give Walter a call and see if we can borrow his tractor just to get this job done at least. Hey Walter. Yeah, we're not doing too bad, thanks. We've gone okay with the mowing and the tedding and the windrowing, but the tractor we've got just can't pull the forage wagon. Don't suppose we could borrow your tractor, could we? Oh, I can see Walter arriving. What an absolute hero. Right, let's get the John Deere unhitched. Oh dear. We've got a runaway forage wagon. Stop! Wait! Come back! Oh god, it's going to hit the road. Oh god, thank goodness it didn't hit any cars. What are we going to do? Let's just keep it on going. Stop! Stop! Oh my goodness. Thank God for this tree. Oh, it looks like it has dented it a little bit. Oh my goodness, Katie is going to be absolutely annoyed with us. Christ. Okay, let's see if we can use Walter's tractor to haul it out of here. Just what we needed. Right, quickly, let's hop in Walter's tractor. Thank goodness. I think he left before he saw that happening, so yeah, he probably would have been very annoyed as well to see that going on. Let's see if we can haul that forage wagon out from that hill. Right, let's back up slowly. I don't want to ram into it anymore. Right, hitch it up. And then let's get low range selected and see if we can pull up this hill. Wow, this John Deere is mighty powerful. And I think I'm actually driving over someone else's field, so that is a little bit embarrassing yet again. Hopefully no one sees us. Let's venture onto the edge and drive around. My goodness, what an idiot. I should have checked that the brake was locked on the forage wagon before detaching it. Doesn't seem like there's any automatic braking system. So I'm going to have to be very wary about when we unhitch this. Okay, sufficient horsepower attained. Let's switch on the forage wagon, get all this hay, collected, and get this over to Katie. And we will have to give our sincerest apologies for denting the back of it. Hope she forgives us. we made it to the animal dealer. Hey, Katie. Yep, we had to borrow your father's tractor as our one was just not powerful enough. Bit embarrassing, really. I thought that we could pull it with the John Deere 710, but it just was really struggling. You must have thought we were a right idiot. I have got something to tell you afterwards, but first things first, where can I deposit the hay? Okay, yeah, I will back it up into the animal shed. Thanks. Right, I better gingerly reverse back to this area here and hopefully not cause any more damage. Right, we can deposit hay. Let's see how much we got. 61%. I think it was about 17,000 litres, which is a pretty good haul from our field. $1,900. That is pretty good going. Right, I better tell Katie what happened with the forage wagon, and I hope she is understanding. Hi, Katie. Yep, the hay deposited okay, but I've got something to tell you. Unfortunately, when I unhitched the forage wagon from my own John Deere, it rolled down the hill and gathered up quite a pace and backed into a tree. Yeah, that back corner is quite dented in. I'm really sorry. I know you only wanted 150 to borrow it, but please take an extra 100, as yeah, it's probably going to need a good amount of pulling out of dents and some paint to cover up where it was chipped. I'm so sorry. Oh, I know it was an old piece of equipment, but it wasn't right for me to damage it on my watch. Hopefully we can make it up to you. Well, sure. We can have a cup of coffee sometime. Yeah, no problem. Right, thanks, Katie. I'll park up the forage wagon and get the tractor back to your dad. See you later. Right, well, there was me thinking Katie was going to absolutely bite our head off for damaging the forage wagon. She was very understanding. We did give her a bit of extra money to account for the dents and chips in the back of it. But, yeah, she suggested that to make amends we could take her for a cup of coffee, which sounds good to me. And, yeah, I definitely have been a bit foolish today. First of all, probably deciding that the little John Deere was going to be capable of pulling this forage wagon. Detaching it without checking that the brakes were on. And then just generally having a bit of a fumble and hiccup, especially around Katie. Seemed to get myself into a bit of a muddle, which is odd. But let's get this back to Walter. He will be expecting us. And then it's probably going to be an afternoon's walk back over to the farm. And we can call it our farm now. Perhaps we need to come up with a name for our farm. Right, made it back to East Farm. God, what a day it has been. It's felt rather long, and it's because we've been super busy getting our tractors up to scratch, and then getting on with all of this grass orientated work. Let's park the tractor back in the shed for Walter. There we go, beacons off, engine off. Ah, thanks Walter, you really came to our aid with that tractor. We would have been stuck and completely lost with what to do with our hay. Yep, we got to meet Katie today. Seems very nice. You've raised a great daughter there. She really helped us out. Well, we better run along, and yeah, we will see you later, Walter. Thanks again. Right, time to start the long walk back home, and we can get our own tractors put to bed. Nearly there. Made it back, and seems like we left the John Deere running. How silly. That's probably spent a good amount of fuel, but it was only idling, so hopefully not too much. Right, let's get the tractors tidied away and the pickup parked up as well. Right, so So I've just had a bit of a reorganization, parked up the trailer and the pickup behind the house, and I've put the tractors a little bit closer and under this tree, so hopefully that will offer it a little bit of shelter from the rain, because we are due some later tonight. And we've got the mower and the windrower here, so that is very handy. But what a fantastic day it has been, a real achievement to get this field mowed, tedded, windrowed, collected, and then sold some hay. We made a good amount of money. So I hope you agree with the choices we've made by buying both tractors. I think that's going to set us up really well for the long term, and we can look to expand our equipment and vehicle fleet as we progress. Not sure what the future holds for us and our field, but we'll be looking to raise some money to buy more land and gather more building materials so we can build a bigger farmhouse. But that is it for today. I hope you have enjoyed watching. If you have, remember to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you've got any tips, tricks, or things you'd like me to do, feel free to leave a comment. But all there's left to say is, I hope to see you again on the American Dream at Riverbend Springs. And until then, catch you later. Cheers all. Bye bye.